What's up, y'all? So I'm actually on my way to handle some business. I just wanted to jump on here. Nothing too crazy. I just got a question. What defines you? When I say that, like, are you a person that needs validation? Are you a person that always has to have someone there? Are you a loner? What defines you? As a homeschool mom, I find myself at times being a loner at this point, which I'm cool with it. Don't get me wrong, I have friends. I talk to people on the daily, so I'm not really like by myself. But when I say a loner, I mean like I'm not constantly, I think 24 out of the day, 24/7, I'm usually with my kids, and I'm usually with the daycare kids and the other teachers. So, we consider ourselves, that close-knit. But I've just, these last couple weeks, I've just been coming into contact with certain type of people, and it's always been those people that need validation, or they need someone to say, oh, you're doing that, you're doing so great. Y'all, look at my hair. You're doing so great. And so I told myself, I'm like, when do we stop? When do we as adults stop doing that? When do we grow up? When do we say, okay, enough is enough? When do we stop doing that? Because I feel like it has to be a point in your life where you stop doing it and you grow up. Because if you don't, that's an everyday life for you. Like, me and my husband, we have our tit for tats, but we both come to realize, like, nobody's going to be right. Nobody's going to always be on your side. But you can do it. You should be able to do that and move on. I just feel like when someone is told no, or if someone is not in someone's corner, in your corner, people always seem to have an attitude with you, or they distance themselves from you. And I'm one of those people where I've grown, where a long time ago I was a validations person, where I felt like I needed to have people around me, good or bad, and I needed that. I needed that to bring me up. And like literally, you guys, like, I want to say this, just the past weekend, I just realized, like, I don't need that. I don't need those type of people. I don't need good or bad people to validate who Brandy is. And as a homeschool mom, you really find yourself, or a homeschool parent, you really find yourself needing that validation, because you're like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? Like, I'm sorry, but who gives a flying hoot if you're doing it wrong or right? You're doing it your way. As long as it's not abusing your kids, or abusing yourself, or abusing the gift that is been given to you as that parent, or that friend, or that wife, or that husband, that brother, that sister. As long as you're not abusing that power, you don't need that validation. I'm just a firm believer in helping people, and making, sorry y'all, my phone keep like having all these little different things pop up, but I just don't feel like we as a whole, as America, whatever you want to call us, a nation, we don't need that. And I think a lot of us, since I really don't like to do politics, but since President Obama has, not Obama, Lord, y'all, I'm still in the past, but since Trump has got into office, we have been looking for a validation. I'm not saying he's good nor bad. That's not for me to determine. That's God. I don't want to judge, so I just have my preferences on who I would like to be president, who I wouldn't be. But I can't say if he's a good or bad person as far as putting my opinion in it. But what I can say is that I don't need someone's validation. If I do say he's a bad person, or I feel like he's a bad person, I don't need 1,000 people jumping down my throat. And I feel like that's what's wrong with us in the society today, because we are all so quick to be worrying about who's doing what, or what she got on, how she talking, how he talking, what he doing, what she doing. Ooh, they over there talking to their kids rough, or ooh, they over there doing it. That's not your business. That's not your business. Like, I feel like we just need to worry about ourselves, you know? We need to worry about who we are and what defines us. You know, I just feel like we've all missed that. And like, you know, if you're an activist, that's who defines you then. That's what you are. That's what you do. Like me, myself personally, I'm a teacher, but I'm also a mother. So I incorporate my teaching and my mothering all in one. That's who defines me. Me being a loner is who defines me, as far as I don't need a group. I don't need an entourage. I mean, I can count how many friends I got on my hand. Like, yeah, you can have 1 million Facebook friends. You have a million Facebook followers, Instagram followers. I can tell you how many people I actually talk to on a day-to-day basis. Like, I can actually tell you how many I can stop and have a real legit conversation, whether it's pure intelligent conversation about something that we feel that needs to be spoke about, or if it's just like, hey, I'm catching up with you. We just have to remember that we are the key to something, regardless if it's our families, regardless if it's our friends, regardless if it's just you talking to you. You have to realize that I've always been a person, like, for a long time, I would judge people that I would see off just rip. Like, I didn't even have to know you, just be like, something wrong with them, or not, or like, oh, they're a good person. Like, it didn't matter what type of judging it was still considered judging. And, you know, then I kind of just sat back and looked at myself, and I was like, but how does that me judging them define me? Like, what do they have to do with me? Nothing. And it's funny that we can say that, but are we incorporating it in our everyday life? Are we incorporating that to make sense? Are you? Because I know most of the time I wasn't. And, you know, in today's world, you need self-validation. You really do. That's the only validation you should be needing. You don't need your husband's validation. You don't need your parents' validation. Those things are nice. You don't need your wife's validation. Yes, those things are nice. Having your kids' validation, knowing that they love you and they support you, it's nice. It's very nice. It's a wonderful thing to have if you have that. But if you don't feel like you're by yourself. Don't feel like you're the only person in the world that is alone. I really want my audience to know that Cozy Homeschool Mom is a brand that it empowers people, not just women, not just men, not just kids. We empower all. And even with our daycare, A Mother's Love, we have our ups and downs as staff. We have our ups and downs as teachers, and we have our ups and downs as following directions and following each other. But at the end of the day, as long as we're giving ourselves that self-validation, you may have gotten beat up on at work today. You may have gotten, told, you're not getting that raise or you're not getting something. But at the end of the day, if you have that self-validation and tell yourself that you're worth it and you're understanding what's important, what makes you, I'm pretty sure, you'll be fine. I found myself always having to reconstrue my words, like trying to find perfect words to say, because you don't want to step on people's toes. But guys, like, on some real stuff, we need to wake up and stop worrying about who hurting our feelings and worry about you hurting your own feelings. Worry about what are you doing to yourself to harm yourself on the daily? Somebody couldn't help you, so you get mad at them. Oh, somebody didn't check up on you, so you get mad at them. Did you check up on yourself? Did you help yourself? Did you do any of that? So you cannot expect people to do what you haven't or won't do for yourself. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, but I just had to really speak my mind and let you guys know that, like I say every time we have a video, you guys are the key. You guys are very, very important. Whether you're a mom, a single mom, a married dad, a single dad, or a kid that's in foster care, because this may come across you, or a kid that's just at home and you feel like your mom and dad isn't paying attention to you. You are the key. You are very important. You make this world go around at one point. In some point, you are the key to the world as well. We all make this big world go around. How? That's what you have to ask yourself. How am I doing that? What am I doing to do that? Instead of worrying about who's checking up on you, who's calling you, who worried about you and yours, and why y'all ain't did this and why y'all ain't did that. Worry about you. All right, y'all.